Welcome to RetroCember here on the Game or Die channel. My name is Ryan Moore, and today we got one for the youngsters. Actually, more nostalgia than anything else, but most people love this game. I used to own a video game store, and kids would come in all the time asking for this game on the Nintendo 64. It, of course, is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Now, I am not a huge prequel fan. Actually, I despise the prequels, but I gotta give it to this game. This game and pod racing in general are actually super cool parts of the Star Wars universe. I hated the kid protagonist of Annie Skywalker and stuff. When I saw this, I was going into high school when the prequel Episode 1 came out, and I remember just hating it with a passion. And I still I don't hate it as much, but I think it is one of the lower tier Star Wars movies. But basically, anyways, to cut a long story short, this game actually is really fun. So let's play Episode 1 Racer. And it actually has enhancements for the expansion pack, which added 4 whole megs of RAM to the N64. And this was another arcade port that was ported to the N64, and it was exclusive to the home console Nintendo 64. It didn't come out on PlayStation or Dreamcast. It didn't come out on Dreamcast, did it? Now I'm all confused. But this is actually a really, really fun game. So we're just going to play tournament. We're going to start. And yeah, there's definitely less graphics. It's not as sharp and clean. It's got a lower frame rate, obviously, like the Nintendo 64 has. But man, it's a good one. So you've got a bunch of different characters to play as. You got Gasano. Is that the guy that I'm playing as in this... let's do a new one. Let's just do a new one. All right. So we'll just do another one, RKM, for my initials. Go ahead and guess what that means. So you got Anakin Skywalker, obviously, and you got I'm not going to do a Dud Bolt. We might have to play as Dud Bolt. I don't even care what his statistics are. I think Gasano was kind of the one that I really liked. Elon. Hey, we could play as Elon Musk. Elon Mac. Odie. Odie is kind of cool. You know what? Let's play as Odie as part of our love for the Garfield franchise. All right. So we're going to play as Odie and the Tatooine course. Let's just start it. And there's like upgrade paths and all that. It's pretty cool. Fun fact, in the movie, the announcer, and I believe the announcer in this game too, Greg Proops from Whose Line Is It Anyways?
The current record holder for this track is...
Yeah, that's Greg Proops. Zaboba! So yeah, that's Greg Proops as the announcer for both the actual movie and this video game, which is kind of cool. I love Whose Line Is It Anyways. I'm actually in an improv troupe now at this point with our church, and that's really, really fun. We were going to have our first show in middle of November, but unfortunately some stuff happened to where we had to cancel the show at the last minute, which is a bummer. So we are going to have our first show in February, which is exciting of next year. So 2025 in the middle of February, probably right after Valentine's Day, somewhere around there. But I'm very excited for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, this is a simple racing game, but there's some unique mechanics to it. Number one, shoot, I'm trying to figure out how to do it here. Oh crap. You don't want to hit the boulders. It is not good. But there is a way to not only boost. Come on. How do I do that? Okay, there we go. You hold the up on the joystick, and then there is a way to... Shoot, I'm not sure how to do it. It's not working the way that I want it to. But there is a way to kind of tilt your engines left and right vertically to kind of get through these like really, really small, narrow passages. If you don't do that, okay, so I can repair in mid race, I guess, as well. Like you have little repair modules or something. It's been a while since I played this. Now, I actually, for whatever reason, I don't know, I was really interested. Oh shoot, there we go. We just blew up. We're dead. We're straight up dead. This game also came out on the PC on Steam a few years ago, and I bought it and never really played it. And then a couple of years ago, I got a Steam Deck because I was doing a lot of traveling for work, which was exhausting. And I wanted something quick that I could just kind of lay in the hotel room and play after work while traveling, because I was gone from my main gaming PC and streaming and all that stuff for a week at a time. And I was like, I want something fun. That game was just like something, someone was talking about it online. I was like, you know what? I should try that out. I should give it the old college try, because like I said, I was so off put by the like PTSD almost of the Star Wars prequels that I just couldn't fathom them being good at all. And I knew the pod racing game, I rented it when I was younger, because I knew that the pod racing was actually kind of fun. It was a fun racing game. But I just hated the prequel so much that it really hindered my enjoyance of the game originally. Then, years later, when I got my Steam Deck, I said, you know what, I'll give it the old college try. And I loaded it up, and dude, I had a fantastic time with it. I got really, really far in the campaign, to the point where I'm pretty much done with it. I think there's maybe like 4 races left that I have. Hey, we got first. So I have like 4 races left in the main game to complete it and finish it, and I want to try and maybe do that sometime next year. We'll just do a stream of me, you know, finishing games, like saying, hey, let's pick up an old save and just try and see where we left off. That would actually be really fun. I would love that. But I have a much more better understanding of the prequels at this point, and not a love for them, not a love, but I do enjoy aspects of them a lot more. And hey, look, Sebulba, he's angry with me. Let's do another race. That was fun. And again, you can upgrade your vehicle, you can repair certain parts. Like, there's a lot to this game other than just pod racing. And I actually really like that. There's also, and I think is this one, maybe the next one, where you have to pick lanes, pick different parts of the course to advance. Like, it's pretty interesting. I only remember it because I do remember that Tatooine level and going, yeah, this is kind of just boring. You know, there's not a whole lot. The rubber banding is not bad in this either. Like, you do, okay, that's a really short race. Okay. But it's not egregious. The rubber banding basically will allow you to lap people, you know, and things like that. And that's good. You know, it doesn't need to be so egregious to the point where if you mess up once, someone's going to get ahead of you. Like, there's always someone right in front of you. No, there's not.
It's a new lap record.
Oh, we got a new lap record. Okay, let's shout out the actual announcers for these video games. There's so many good ones. Tim Kritzkow from the NBA Jam series is probably one of my favorites, but we got like people who did the Mortal Kombat Finish Him and stuff like that too, right? Or Street Fighters, when you announce or pick the, there we go, when you pick the country, Brazil, Japan, Asia, China, stuff like that, right? Oh man, so good. Perfect. You lose. All right, look at that. You're telling us to come back in, and you know, we're basically going to be able to upgrade and choose different parts and stuff. Really fun game. We'll do one more race because that one was super short. Super short. Beto's Wild Ride. And you can see kind of at the top, we've got this really sharp hairpin turn, and that's where I always lose it. So we must place in 4th or better. All right. But yeah, man, this is a fun game. I really, really enjoyed it. Ugh. Okay. I will go out on a limb and say that this game is better than, it's not even out on a limb, but this game is better than all 3 of the prequel movies combined. That's how good this game actually is. But it's also a detriment to how bad the prequel movies are. Now, if you're going, Ryan, the prequel movies are not that bad. I grew up in a time where it was not super cool to like Star Wars. I was a nerd for liking Star Wars back in the mid-90s, early 90s. I was a kid, you know, I was a young kid, and Star Wars had its time in the sun as a kind of pop culture thing, and then it became seen as a child's thing. And I was a kid, but it was also very nerdy back in school. Like, it was not cool to like Star Wars like it is now, where even adults are, you know, wearing Star Wars everything and have, you know, The Mandalorian is like one of the top TV shows of all time. Like, that was not the case back then. And so I was ridiculed and made fun of in high school for liking Star Wars. I saw the special editions of Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 when they released in theaters back in 97, and when they started kind of amping up the prequel trilogy, the first one, and that was just an insane time to be a Star Wars fan, because you saw everyone that would, you know, get tickets like months in advance early. You had people camping out for like a month straight just to go see a movie, be the first one to see a new Star Wars movie and stuff like that. It was a cultural phenomenon, but it was also a very nerdy version of that. Like, no one thought Star Wars was cool. It was just like, hey, all the nerds really like this, let's go gawk at them. And when the prequel trilogy first came out, or at least the episode 1 came out, I was in junior high, and I remember my mom taking me after school to go see it opening day. And the theater was empty because no one wanted to see it. It was just the nerds. People forget that. People forget that it was just the nerds that were excited for Star Wars. It was not pop culture. It was pop culture to make fun of them, but not like actually reverent, meaningful enjoyment. It was all ironic enjoyment more than anything else. So, oh, I should have just blown up at that point. Come on. Oh, and now we're in second place? That's okay. Here, let's see if we can boost. There we go. Got a little boost there. So, yeah, it's kind of, not that I have a chip on my shoulder about it, but it is something that I regularly talk about when I talk about Star Wars. It's so weird seeing Star Wars be so hyper pop culture at this point that it kind of almost makes me sick. But there is a backlash starting to happen now that Disney has bought the series from Lucas, and seeing what they've done with the new third trilogy. You can see a lot of backlash going, Disney ruined the series. And like, there's even people going, oh, George Lucas needs to take control back. Whoa, I wish George Lucas had, like, dude, George Lucas ruined Star Wars because of the prequels. Everyone wanted him. And again, it's this whole thing of people just kind of jumping on a bandwagon. Like, stick to your guns, or at least if you're wrong, you can admit you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I can sit here and say, oh, yeah, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is actually a pretty good game. It's semi-basic in its actual racing, but there is strategy to it, and I really like that. But these people who think giving George Lucas back the reins would be absolutely wrong in that case. He ruined the series, keeps going back to the movies that he made and keeps changing them for the worse because of implementing CGI and things. Like, go take a look at the original copies of Star Wars, which you can't get on DVD or Blu-ray. They don't exist. But if you watch the original VHS tapes of the non-edited, non-special edition, and then go and watch the special edition versions, you'll see that George Lucas did tamper a lot Oh no. Tamper a lot with the actual series to the point where we all actually hated it. Okay, I gotta pay attention. I'm in first place still, but he's right on my heels. Oh, I was overheating. Okay, cool. Yeah, that boost mechanic is a little weird, like holding up and then boosting while you're already, flying and stuff. It's a choice for sure. It's a design choice that I'm not fully on board with, but I'm having a blast with this game. I think this game is actually really, really fun. We're almost there, almost there. Just hold on just a little bit longer, Ryan. Yeah, there we go. Oh, what? I accidentally tapped A. Okay, but that's it. Okay, so that is Star Wars 1 Episode Racer. As you can see, it's actually a pretty fun game. Like I said, I can admit when I'm wrong, and I was totally wrong about this game being something totally different, something way better than I originally assumed it was going to be. It's just that there is a lot of little things that tie into my disappointment and overall unenjoyable time with the prequel trilogy. Episode 1 is terrible. Episode 1 is not a good movie. It is not bad. It got better as the prequel trilogy went on. Attack of the Clones is definitely way better. And I know that's like an unpopular opinion now, but no, it's really true. Remember, go back into the time when we all watched it and we go, oh no, Episode 1 was absolutely awful. Up until I'd say probably the last 4 or 5 years, there's been this real culture shift of saying the prequel trilogies are not that bad. No, they are. They really are. My wife and I watched all of the Star Wars trilogy movies, all 3 of them, all episode 1 through 9, when we got super, super sick a couple years ago, and right before the pandemic. And oh my gosh, it was just like, dude, episode 1 is so bad. But if you like them, that's okay too. That's one of the cool things about this channel is I try not to bash the things that other people can like. We can disagree, and you can like something that I don't like. I can like something that you don't like. That's cool, because that's what makes the world go round, the differences that we all have for each other. And I think that's really fun to be able to discuss games. So if you like discussing games and want to have more fun talking about games in a more mature fashion where we can disagree and still care about each other's opinions, even if we don't hold the same opinion, check out the Discord. Not only is the Discord a great place to have fun video game discussions, but for the month of December, if you join the Discord, I'll just straight up give you a game. That's it. No strings attached. Free game if you join the Discord the month of December. And well, man, we're nearing the end of December really quickly here. But that's going to do it for the RetroCember for today on the Game or Die channel. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care. God bless. Merry Christmas. And now, in a couple days, Happy New Year.